Hi, I'm Mark, and this is Let's Vibe, the channel all about crystals and our feelings. And today I wanted to talk about one of my special crystals. I have probably called all of my crystals, or most of them, special. But this one is special in that it's not a crystal that you would that most people would think of as a crystal. And in fact, it's an element that you find on the periodic table and one of the most abundant elements in the universe, and that is silicon. So, as you can see right away, silicon, it's very smooth. It's got this silvery bluish gray color. I think it's kind of pretty. And yeah, it looks more like a metal than a stone or crystal. And in fact, it's considered a metalloid. So it's not quite a metal, but it does behave like or look like a metal in certain ways. So silicon is one of the most abundant elements in the universe, and I believe it's the second most abundant element in the Earth's crust. And silicon is closely related to quartz crystals, because quartz and all of the varieties of quartz are composed of silicon dioxide. So silicon, pure silicon, carries an energy that's very similar to clear quartz. Silicon, it's got a rather high vibration, and I would say it has a finer vibration than clear quartz. And the energy, to me, it feels very fast moving. I would say silicon carries an air element kind of energy, and it does feel a lot like high quality clear quartz. Silicon, well, it's interesting because, considering those vibrations, it's interesting that, silicon is now used in our computers. It's a semiconductor. And so it's used in all of this high-tech stuff that we have, and it's used in this fast digital communication that we do. And so I think the energies, the metaphysical energy of silicon kind of matches the ways in which it's used physically. And what I like about silicon is it's a stone that can really help you raise your vibration, and particularly in a joyful way. Silicon is, silicon amplifies positive energy. It amplifies joyful vibrations, and it heightens your energy. I was meditating with silicon yesterday, and I noticed that, first of all, silicon can resonate and vibrate with all of your chakras. And when you place it on your chakras, it really energizes that chakra. And I was just feeling, this high vibrational, fast flowing energy within my own chakras. And it felt like plugging something in and charging it, like charging your phone. But my energy was just, it felt like it was really beaming. And not only does it energize, and it also clears away lower vibration, excuse me, lower vibrations. It clears away lower vibrations. And I also discovered that it's really, it resonates very strongly with the crystal chakra. And I recently did a video on the crystal chakra and some of the things that I've discovered working with this chakra. It's the chakra right below your sternum, between your solar plexus and heart chakras. And I've found that the crystal chakra is the location where the energy of the inner child sits. And so I've been on the lookout for crystals that resonate with the crystal chakra, because it's hard to find information on the crystal chakra. And so I've been kind of doing my own searching and experimenting. And I find that silicon resonates very powerfully with the crystal chakra. And I would describe it as not just, imbuing that chakra with high vibrational energy, but it really brings a strong, reviving kind of energy to that chakra, and consequently to my inner child. And so in that sense, I would say it's very healing. It's healing for the crystal chakra, and it's healing for all of the chakras. But I just wanted to mention that this is another stone that can be used with the crystal chakra if you're interested in exploring that chakra within yourself. So silicon is, it's a really nice piece to have. Again, I guess the thing that really stands out to me about silicon is that joyful, high-vibing energy. And silicon, because of its connection with digital technology, computers, it's also associated with business. It's associated with money, attracting profit. And so silicon is a good stone to use if you're working on bringing in money, if you've got a business, if you're working for a business. Silicon is a stone for manifesting success in business and attracting success in that context. Now, you may have noticed this piece has a big old chip in it. Like a chunk fell out of it. And that brings me to the second part of this video. I wanted to talk about when stones break, or when a crystal breaks or cracks. Now, personally, I've dropped many stones over the years. I've dropped all kinds of stones and crystals, and sometimes they've been unharmed, undamaged, thankfully. But many times I've broken or chipped a stone by dropping it. I've got hard tile flooring, so it's definitely not good for a crystal if it drops. So one day I happened to drop this piece of silicone and this chunk just broke off. Now I still have that piece, that broken piece. I kept it. But many people wonder, you know, what do you do if a stone breaks? If you drop it and it cracks, can you still use it? Or do you have to get rid of it? Can you repair it? And it's really interesting when it comes to working with stones. So within crystal work and the world of crystals, these kinds of breaks, now this one is a little bit severe. This one's a bit severe, but these types of breaks where a piece comes off, they're called empathy nicks. And the reason they're called that is because when a stone in your possession, a stone you've been working with, breaks for whatever reason and is damaged in this way, it's a sign, it can be a sign that you're developing a deeper connection with the stone, and the break or the chip in the stone comes to represent empathy, in the sense that the stone is empathizing with your own wounds and your own hurts. And you know, because often when you're using stones, if you're working with stones, you're working on hurts, you're working on healing wounds and trauma and things like that. So these chips in stones, no matter what causes it to break, these little chips are seen as a rather positive sign. In terms of your connection with the stone is stronger, and it becomes, the chip in the stone becomes a sign of, like, this is your stone. This stone is aligned with your energy, and there's that deeper connection when it comes to your own wounds and trauma. And so that's how I saw, when this piece broke, that's how I saw it. And as with everything, it comes down to your intuition. So sometimes a stone can break and honestly, it feels like the stone is done. Like, the energy is gone. It's irreparable. And in cases like that, you have to, well, you don't have to. You can repurpose it in some way, or you can just get rid of it, you know, bury it outside somewhere, give it back to Mother Earth. I did have a stone, a very special stone, break over the summer. And this was a very peculiar type of mineral. It's a lead-based mineral called pyromorphite. And I had a small piece of it. And it wasn't just pyromorphite. There was another mineral, a very beautiful blue mineral, laid on top of the pyromorphite. Pyromorphite is a hard, brittle, bright green mineral, and it's lead-based. And this blue mineral on top is called plumbogamite. It looks like slime or gum hanging on to the matrix, the pyromorphite. Anyway, it's another lead-based mineral. And so I had a small piece of this pyromorphite with plumbogamite. And that combo, particularly the plumbogamite, is used for throat chakra healing and working on speaking and expressing yourself. And anyway, I'd been working with a small piece for less than a year, I think. I think it was less than a year. And over the summer, I happened to just accidentally sweep it off my altar area, and it fell on the floor and broke right in half. Now, in that case, because it broke in half, I really felt like, okay, this stone is done. Like, if I want to keep working with those minerals, I would need to buy a larger piece or just a different piece. But the fact that it broke so completely in half, to me, it really felt like the stone was done. Like I'd used it for its purpose, or its purpose had been served, and it was done now. And in that case, I also decided to throw it away. Now, I normally would never throw a crystal or a stone in the garbage, but I did with this one because it's lead-based, and I didn't want to go, bury that somewhere. It's not lead is not, yeah. Lead is not a safe substance, so I had to dispose of it. But it always comes down to your intuition. If a stone, you gotta, pick up that broken stone and just feel is the energy still there? Does it still feel like it's vibrating the way that it used to? The vibration will change a little, given the damage, but it shouldn't just disappear unless it breaks in a very severe way. Sometimes an empathy nick can make a stone a little more powerful in relation to you. Like, you may feel it more strongly, you may vibe with it on a more powerful level. And sometimes when a stone breaks, sometimes the energy kind of fades, and then it might return sometime later, almost as if the stone needs time to what's the term? It needs to grow accustomed to its new shape. I can't think of the right word though, but I had a really pretty, very small smoky quartz point that I was working with, and I dropped it one day, and the bottom of it split off. And for the longest time, I couldn't really figure out if it was a stone I should keep using or if the energy was off. It was hard to tell. So it can be a little hard at times, but I still have that smoky quartz piece. So I guess I kind of decided that it was still useful, but the energy had changed. So I wasn't sure exactly what to do with it. So definitely don't get rid of stones just because there's some damage. In most cases, it's a good thing in a sense. But I just wanted to talk about that because that's a common occurrence, and a lot of people wonder, what to do in those cases. So it's called empathy nicks, and so don't be too dismayed if you happen to drop a stone and it breaks. Just use your intuition and feel it out. And that brings us to the music part of the video. Now, for whatever reason, I was really drawn, in trying to find a song for Silicon, I was really drawn to Madonna. And I was drawn specifically to her remixes that she recently put out in that huge compilation, Finally Enough Love. I love that album. I love the remixes. I think they are incredible. It's music that honestly I could, it's music that can kind of put you in a trance-like mindset or trance-like state. It can be almost meditative if you like, you know, dance club remix music. Anyway, the song that was really, that I felt was really vibing well with Silicon, and I've used this song, the original, for a different stone, but the song that I want to pick for Silicon is the Ray of Light remix on the Finally Enough Love album. And I am blanking on the name of that remix, but I will post a link down in the description box below to this particular Ray of Light remix from her new album. And I chose it because it just has a really awesome high vibe energy, and I think it's just a great remix, and for whatever reason, I felt like it went well with the properties and the energies of Silicon. So you can see for yourself, but I'll include that link in the description box below. And as always, I encourage you, leave a comment or question. And once again, thank you so much for vibing with me.